Well, welcome back to the Under-16 head coaching announcements for the Bulleen Boomer Junior Championship 2021-22 season. I'm super excited to be joined today by Julia Walsh, our Under-16 girls head coach. Welcome, Julia, and congratulations on the reappointment.
Thanks. I'm really excited about the year that we've got ahead of us, regardless of what it is. And I'm always excited to see the new crop of players coming through, and also that opportunity for some of our older players to mentor some of those new people coming through as well.
Sensational. Fingers crossed we have an unblemished season, but we never know with this pandemic. And speaking of that, congratulations, first of all, on being announced as the Basketball Victoria Coach of the Year in probably one of our toughest years on record, and in such a challenging time. What were some of the highlights for you, Julia, during this past year?
Look, I think when you look at the year, I've worked as hard as I would in any year, and there was a challenge, but I think there was also the challenge to take on board. And for me, look, it was really exciting with the learning that happened, but the learning was really important for me because I had to work really closely with my athletes, because we had to virtually co-construct a way of working together so that we could make a training session hum. And I think being able to take feedback from each other and work with each other to be able to do that was a great outcome for, I think, the coach-athlete and the athlete-coach relationship. So that was a fabulous outcome from that. For me also, I think it was the leadership we were able to develop through that platform. All of my players, if I say own the screen, do the demonstration, talk us through it, they were all comfortable by the end. They're comfortable now in doing that and actually quite proud of themselves to get up there and become the coach on the screen. So I think there was a lot of outcomes. The main one for me was connection. With this age group, if we can't keep them together, keep them engaged in sport and enjoying the process, we lose them. So for me, the biggest outcome, forget about the awards, was actually bringing 60 athletes back onto the floor. And I can tell you the relationship with those athletes, having met them all on Zoom, seen them all on the floor, is a lot closer than anything that I've ever had before. So I think for me, some of those challenges were great. We took them on board, we achieved something. And here's the other one, with all of those sessions that we ran, we didn't get one day of rain. Okay, so we got through the whole thing. We got some high winds, we got some this, that, and the other, but we got through every session as an outside session, and even had a couple of sessions where we were out on bikes and doing things, no rain. Probably not good for the environment, but that was what we had.
Well, look, it's very, very clear that flexibility and being able to adapt to the environment was a major strength for you and the girls in the 16s program. And it's fantastic to be able to adapt to the use of technology to better support what we need to do going forward. So great learnings in that respect. So with your extensive experience at all coaching levels, national, all the way through to juniors and domestic and so forth, what is it about the under-16 age group that you enjoy the most?
If you want a challenge as a coach, 14 and 15-year-old girls, and I'm sure boys as well, the things that are happening there, I mean, there's growth and development, but these athletes of this age are also getting a level of independence, their world's opening up for them. And how can we as coaches work not only with developing their competence in the sport, but helping them develop in all other areas of the sport. And it's also that age where they're deciding, is this the pathway for me? Do I want to stay in basketball, or are there other options? Or do I want to stay in basketball, but I want to take a recreation rather than a high performance type pathway? So helping them with those decisions is important as well. But look, I look at young women and I think I want them to feel great as athletes. Okay, and what they do, and that being able to perform isn't about being able to perform because someone's threatening you. It's being able to perform because the environment is safe for you to fail in, and to be able to go out there and take on the challenge and do that again. And I think if you talk to any of my athletes that I coach, they know they get a rounded education. So we don't just work on the actual competence of the skills. Of course, they're a major part of what we do, but we'll be working on the mental skills. We'll be working on the teamwork. We'll be having sessions about what's our culture, all of these things that work for them, not just in sport, but will work for them outside of sport as well. So it's a very athlete-centered program, coach-driven program. But I take great delight in seeing my athletes grow as leaders. And I also think there's that opportunity to for them to see women in positions of leadership. And we do that really well in this club. So if they can't see it, they can't see that path. And even now I've got a level 1 coaching course, and I've got one of my athletes doing that coaching course. So that excites me as well.
No, that is sensational. And look, at the end of the day, I guess it's our role in junior sport to be able to support these kids both on and off the court. And as you outlined, some of the lessons that they're learning at this pivotal time in their life is not just necessarily focused about what they do on the court, but what they're going to do in their life going forward. And so we appreciate that dedication. And I know you put a huge amount of time into those type of things. So if you're speaking, Julia, right now to a bunch of under 16 girls that are about to prepare for tryouts coming up in the next couple of months, and you were going to provide them with some advice, what would be the most important advice that you could give to them?
Leave everything on the court. Get out there and give it your best shot. Also know that not everyone can be shooters. All right. And know your strength and know what you can deliver. Because I also need people on my team that can stop shooters, as well as people who can actually shoot. So know your strength, go out there, demonstrate it. And things that for me that would be important is I'm not just looking for what are your skills, but how do you work with others? Can you be part of a team? What does that look like? What does that look like when I'm starting in my head to think about what's that combination of 3 look? What's that combination of 5 look like? So it's not just about going out there and thinking you got to shoot the lights out. It's about all of those other components in the game. The other thing is this: if it comes down to 2 players and I'm deciding, okay, which one am I going to go with? I'm thinking about who is the most coachable here. Right, because if I can't coach you, I can't help you get to the next spot, one, you probably need another coach, or you may not be able to grow within the program. Right, so that coachable part is really, really important. But also, look, I'm going to tell you too, is keep basketball in perspective. All right, it's I know it's your absolute passion and direction for a number of you as well, but there are a whole lot of other things going on in life that are as important or even more important. So just keep it in perspective. So when you get selected for a team, I know it can be really disappointing for you sometimes when you're not in the right team. But when we're selecting teams, we're also selecting teams based on what will give you the best experience at this point in your life. All right, 1 minute on this bench, or the opportunity to actually get 15 minutes on this team and really develop your skills. And if you have a look at our Bulleen program, we'll often find that players from a 3rd and 4th team the following season get up to a 1st team. All right, that pathway is well established within our club. So as I said, wherever you land, also get in there and give it your best, because we see you every week. We're watching you. You'd be surprised what we watch. You'd be surprised what we see, and you'd be surprised what we measure. So I look forward to anyone that's coming along. It'd be fabulous to see you, to meet you, and to see how we can work together.
Well, that's some sensational advice, and it really marries in well with Alex Wilson's advice from the 16 boys, is that it's not just the best shooter, it's an all-around requirement in regards to it. And what I love with what you had said is leave it all on the court, and know your strengths in that respect as well. So Julia, that's some great advice. Those listening, those prospective under 16 players, that's some really good feedback for them to listen to. Thank you for your time today. We appreciate all you do for the club. and we're grateful to have someone of your experience working with such an important age group within our basketball program. Congratulations again on your appointment.
Thank you, and we'll see you all on the court soon, players.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care.